Alright, I'm going to do a shoe review today. This shoe is called the Bondi B. It's a new shoe that just came out. It's made by a company called Hoka. They are originally a trail running shoe that's now venturing into the road version. So initially when you look at this shoe, you think it's really bulky and really heavy and clunky. It's actually the complete opposite of that. It's actually really lightweight and feels really good on the foot and is really fluid when you run with it. So let's go ahead and weigh these. If you weigh the men's shoe, this is a men's 9. It weighs 10.5 ounces. If I grab a men's 9, size 9 men's A6 Kayano, I weigh that shoe, and it's 11.8. And I classify these shoes kind of in the same category as far as cushion and price. So this shoe is kind of a traditional running shoe. It actually weighs quite a bit more. If I weigh the women's size 7, this shoe only weighs 8.2 ounces. That is really light for a trainer. Most lightweight trainer shoes weigh about that much. So it's a very lightweight shoe. Now, looking at this shoe, you can see it has a lot of foam or EVA foam on it. So that's why a lot of people think it's really bulky. You actually do not sit as, the heel looks a lot bigger than it is. And so you actually don't sit right here on the shoe. You actually sit down inside the shoe where these lines are. So the heel is not like this. It's actually more level than you would think. That's going to allow you to run a little bit more natural, a little bit more midfoot strike. But if you do heel strike, then this shoe has a lot of cushion even on the back to help with that, with the shock absorption. So the benefits of this shoe. The biggest benefit with this shoe is the shock absorption. It will absorb more shock, more impact than any shoe out there in the market today. And especially out here in Utah, where you have a lot of downhill races, and basically most people will run on pavement or asphalt, this shoe is going to really help you stay healthier and run faster on the downhills and absorb more shock. So when you're running a race, you can you'll just feel better with this shoe on. As far as training is concerned, since it is absorbing more impact, you're actually going to recover faster in this shoe than you normally would. And so it's actually going to let you run a little bit more often, run a little bit more than what you've been able to do in a regular shoe. I've been running this shoe for about 6 months, and right away I could feel a huge difference in the way my legs felt after a run, especially after my long run, such as maybe a 20-mile run. My recovery was much faster. I just didn't feel as beat up after my runs. And I've always had a problem with injuries once I start pushing my miles up. I can do about 60 miles a week in a traditional shoe, no problem. Once I start going higher than that, then I start to, I've always started to have injuries. And so this shoe allowed me to push my miles even higher than I've ever been able to, and I've stayed injury-free, and I just feel a lot better. So that's a huge benefit. The other benefit that you get is the stability of the shoe. It's actually quite stable just because of the way the heel is designed. It's quite a bit wider than a traditional shoe that you would see. This is the Kayano again, and you can see that the heel is wider, and so, or not as wide as the Hoka. So what that does is it creates a stable platform, so when you run with it, it's not going to crush towards the inside if you pronate. Now I would still recommend an arch support with this shoe because your foot can still pronate inside your shoe, and so you still need to control that. But if you're a neutral runner, you can wear this shoe as well. So it's kind of a shoe for everybody, which is nice. Some of the drawbacks of this shoe, I would say the upper is pretty warm compared to most traditional running shoes. It's not perforated, so you don't get a lot of air in there, so it kind of traps heat. It'll trap moisture a little bit more than most road shoes. So you have a really hot, sweaty foot, you could have some issues. The other issue is it's a little pinchy in the front. If you have a little bit wider foot, you will definitely have to go up a half a size. If you have a normal fitting foot, it may not be a problem. It probably won't be actually. But you probably want to try the shoe on before you buy it, just to make sure you get the right size. The only other drawback to the shoe is the tread. It does wear out pretty quick. It's pretty soft, so after about 150 miles or so, you're actually going to start to develop some bald spots on this shoe. It's not that big of a deal. There's so much EVA foam on this that the shoe will last much longer than the tread anyway. So that's basically it. So if you're looking for a shoe with tons of cushion, looking for a shoe maybe to help you stay healthy, looking for a shoe that just feels good overall, go ahead and try this shoe out. It's definitely a good shoe.